My name is Joel Slaff. I am a Psych and French double major POE, and my graduation year is 2014. My title of my research is Happiness is a Virtue, a look into global national happiness and its worldwide effect. Practically, there are many different ways to scale happiness. It's a huge factor in a country's development and progression. One way to produce a scale of happiness is by a very long and ridiculous equation, which is just putting in gross domestic product, capital, and a couple other numbers, and bam. That's how you find out if your country's successful, if they're happy. So that's what the international world likes to see, is economics equals happiness. Whereas happiness has many different values and functions in it, some of which are in global national happiness, which is a scale produced by Bhutan. Bhutan is a very small country in Asia, doesn't have many import-export economics, so they're looking at this like, let's find a different way to scale happiness and progression and success to make us look a little bit better. So they came up with global national happiness, which takes into account subjective well-being and personal well-being, as well as vacation time, familial relationships, governmental structure, and economics. And practically they go around, they don't knock on doors, they practically go around and say, are you happy? Do you like the way things are going in your country? Do you like the way that you go to work? Is there much traffic? Do you have a lot of vacation time, et cetera, because these things factor into happiness. And as it says here, it's not just fixed, because what they have now is a very just economics, one way or no way. And this is a more gestalt, open way to produce happiness scales, and weather is a huge factor in this. And as you can see, there's a graph here basically saying the temperature in the coldest month correlates with their happiness. If you look at Russia, in about the coldest month is probably, I actually don't know, but it's probably January, but it's cold there all the time. So you're looking at it, this is all in Celsius. Their coldest temperature in the coldest month is around negative 13 degrees Celsius. Their happiness, pretty low, because it's cold there all the time. However, when you look at Venezuela, it's pretty hot in their coldest month. So they're looking at it pretty happy. And that takes into account the seasonal affective disorder no zone, which is the fact that basically here it's the hottest part of the globe. So if you take that into account, this is the hottest part of the globe, so it should be happy. And if you take a couple countries from here, such as Venezuela, looks pretty happy. Brazil, somewhere in the middle here, it's pretty happy. However, the US, it's pretty widespread. Coast to coast, you go from hot in January, December, 60s, 70s, to cold. It's about 30s or the 20s here in the East Coast. So the US, you can't really take it as verbatim because it's just so widespread. However, when you take smaller countries such as Estonia, it's about right here, Armenia, Latvia, Lithuania, all cold practically all the time. So they are definitely victims of seasonal affective disorder. They have more reports than countries such as this. South Africa as well, because it snows in the Cape, but the country's normally so hot that it kind of offsets that. However, there are more cases of seasonal affective disorder in the South, which makes it part of the seasonal affective zone. And that's pretty much it. The Stiglitz Commission came out and actually said that gross domestic product, which is just the economical way of producing a country's progression, is flawed because it's so fixed and it's so small of a scale. And they actually want to have global national happiness as a scale because it takes in so many different factors. And the French produce this as well because they love it, because they take vacations all the time. So, and vacation time is one of the factors of global national happiness, so they're really happy about that and they want that produced. And hopefully, more countries will adopt it to show a more open way of rating governments and countries' progression.